Hello student, let's start with lecture number first from the unit 3 and up till in the previous part we have discussed the unit number 1 and the second. Here in the unit first we have discussed the basics of compiler, and in the first unit only we have started the discussion regarding the phases of the compiler. In the first unit already we have discussed the first phase of compiler, that is a lexical analysis. In the second unit, we have discussed the second phase of compiler, that was the syntax analysis phase and different techniques to do the syntax analysis. Now we are starting with the unit number 3, and our unit number 3 title says semantic analysis and the SDT, where the SDT stands for syntax directed translation. So today we are going to discuss the things related with the semantic analysis only. So in the next lecture, we will start with the discussion of syntax directed translation. Now you already know what exactly mean by the phases of compiler, that number of times we have discussed. So phases of the compiler are nothing but the, what you can say, the logically interrelated operation that take the source program in one form, or that take the source program in one representation and produce the output in another representation, or the produce the output in another form. So likewise, we can describe the phases as a different stages in the processing of source program by the compiler. And initially compiler take your source program as an input, and then according to the different phases, suppose for example, if you see the first phase, so first phase take the source program as an input and produce the tokens. Likewise, each phase of the compiler is having particular role that we are going to discuss, and related with the first two phases already we have discussed. So phases can be described as a different kind of interrelated operations during the processing of source program, or different stages in the processing of source program. Or you can also consider the phases as a number of sub processes while you are processing your source program by the compiler, where the compiler convert your higher level language program into the lower level language program. So mainly there are the two phases of the compilation: analysis phase and the synthesis phase. And we already know the analysis phase consists of the three main phases. These are nothing but the lexical, syntax, and the semantic analysis. So as we have discussed, each phase take the input from its previous stage and feed its output to the next phase of compiler. So you can see here the first phase of compiler take the input in the form of source code, and it produce the output as a tokens you can see here. Then second phase of compiler take the input in the form of the tokens and produce the output as a parse tree. Also already regarding these phases in details we have studied. Okay, so mainly the lexical analyzer role is nothing but the production of the tokens, detection of the lexical errors, etc. And role of the syntax analyzer is nothing but the to check whether sentence or the expression given it is a syntactically correct or not, and detect the various kind of syntactical errors. And now we are in the third phase, that is the semantic analyzer we have to discuss. Okay, so if you see the phases of compiler in that lexical analysis already we have discussed in details. You can see its scenario I have shown you. Whenever the parser or the syntax analyzer requests the token to this lexical analyzer read the source program and send the tokens. It first produce or identify the token and send the tokens to the parser. Then syntax analysis also we have discussed. Syntax analysis take the tokens from the lexical analyzer, and while doing these different phases also refer the one data structure, that is the symbol table. So symbol table generation start during the lexical analysis phase, and in the next phases of the compiler, each phase add the different information in this symbol table. So parser or the syntax analyzer take the input from the lexical analyzer token, and it produce the parse tree or the syntax tree. So if the parse tree or the syntax tree for particular sentence or the expression can be generated, then we can say there is a no syntactical errors. Okay. If the parse tree or the syntax tree cannot be generated for the particular expression with the help of the given available grammar, then we can say there is a syntactical error in your program. So likewise, these details of these phases already we have discussed in the previous lectures. So our discussion today is nothing but the related with the semantic analysis phase of the compiler. Okay. Now you know the source program which is being written by the programmer. It is available in the different higher level languages. Okay. So it might be possible that the source program which you have written, that source program can be lexically correct, or that source program can be a syntactically correct. But it may happen that your source program is not semantically correct. So what exactly mean by the semantically correct, and what exactly mean by the semantic analysis? So as you can see here, the semantic analysis is the third phase of compiler, and its main role to check whether the programmer has written the code with some valid meaning or not. So the programmer who is writing the code in the higher level language, now that code can be a lexically correct, means tokens, all tokens are can be valid. It can be also written with the proper structure. It can means we can say it is a syntactically also correct. But it might happen, it also need to check in the next phase of compiler whether that particular sentence expression which you have written, whether it is having some valid meaning or not. So here you can see the cement. So in order to check whether your expression, program, or sentences which you have written, whether it is having some valid meaning or not, in order to check that, there is utilization of semantic analysis phase. So if your program is not semantically correct, then you get the different kind of semantic errors when you compile the program. So what are the different semantic errors which is detected with the help of the semantic analysis that we'll see? So here I have written, you can see the semantic analyzer take the output of the syntax analyzer. So output of the syntax analyzer is a parse tree. So semantic analyzer take the input as a parse tree and check whether it is a semantically, means whether it is a meaningful, whether it is a semantically correct or not, or whether it is a meaningful or not. So to check that particular thing, that is the work of the semantic analyzer. Now, how the semantic analyzer will do that things? So semantic analyzer also generate the another parse tree or the syntax tree, and that is called as a modified parse tree or the annotated parse tree. So if the semantic analyzer can successfully generate the annotated parse tree or the modified parse tree, then you can say that particular expression or sentence is semantically correct, means particular sentence or expression is having some valid meaning. So during the semantic analysis, also semantic analyzer has to take the help of the symbol table to get the information related to the different kind of symbol, its type, name, etc. So then whatever the output generated by the semantic analyzer, that is given as the input to the next pages of the compiler that we'll see when you finish the semantic analysis. So as you already got the concept what exactly role performed by the semantic analyzer. So the main role performed by the semantic analyzer is nothing but here for the particular source program written by the programmer in higher level language. The role of the semantic analyzer is to check whether that program is meaningful or not, whether it is a semantically correct or not. So how, and if it is not semantically correct, then different kind of semantic errors will get generated. So which are that semantic errors related to the semantic analysis that we are going to see? Now generally semantic analyzer detect the various kind of errors. So some of the errors we are going to see here. So during the semantic analysis phase, different kind of errors appears. So this type of errors generally get detected at the compile time. So some of the semantic errors can be here. You can see the first kind of semantic errors can be incompatible type of operands. Now, as we have seen, the main role of the semantic analyzer is to check whether sentence is meaningful or not. It is whether it is semantically correct or not. So in case of that, the first and the major role performed by the semantic analyzer in case of that is nothing but to check type compatibility, or you can say to do the type checking. That is considered the main role performed by the semantic analyzer. So using the type checking, semantic analyzer can decide whether a sentence is semantically correct or not, whether a sentence is meaningful or not. Now, what do you mean by the type checking? Now, for example, if you have written the particular sentence like this or declaration like this, int a equal to snd. Okay, int a equal to snd. Now you can see here you have declared the a and its type as an integer, and you are trying to assign value to that integer as a string. So here the type compatibility is not matching. Means here semantic analysis will do the type checking, and it will check whether type compatibility of operand is there or not. Now this you can see this variable a is a type of integer, and you are trying to assign it the string. Means it is not possible in case of, for example, C language, you cannot assign the string to the integer variable. Now, if you do these kind of things in the program, you will definitely get this kind of errors, and that error is being considered a semantic error. So this is nothing but the type checking and checking of the type compatibility. So here, this kind of error which you will get is nothing but called as the incompatible type of the operands. Incompatible type of the operand means what? The type of this variable a you have declared as an int, and you are trying to assign it the value as a string. So this is nothing but the incompatible type of operand. So this particular variable is type of integer, and you should assign it value only the integer. Understood? So if you don't assign it the value as an integer, then it is considered as an incompatible type of the operands. Now, second kind of errors which comes under the semantic error category is the undeclared variable. So sometimes what happens when you write the program, in that program, you try to utilize the variable which you are not declared. So that error also comes under the category of semantic errors, and to check this kind of things is work of the semantic analysis. Also, when you are utilizing the two functions, calling function and the call function, and suppose in the calling function you have the two parameters, and in the call function you have three parameters. So this mismatching of the parameters is also detected by the semantic analyzer. And if you do this kind of mistake, then that is considered as semantic errors. So with the example, you will see this. Now here you can see the first kind of error which is being detected by the semantic analyzer as a semantic error is use of non-initialized variable. Now if you see this fragment of code, now in this fragment of code, you can see you have declared the variable I, and in the function f, you can see you have utilized the variable t here. Now in this function, t is not declared, still you are utilizing that. So here I have mentioned in this code t is undeclared, and that is why it will show you the semantic error. So if you try to utilize some variable which you are not declared, then that comes under the category of semantic errors, and that detection of semantic error is work of the semantic analysis. Okay. So another kind of semantic error here, you can see the type related with the type. Second kind of error is the type incompatibility. So that already I told you, checking the type compatibility. Okay. Now here, as I told you in the example, int a, and you are trying to assign the string variable to this integer variable. So the type string and int are not compatible. Okay. So if you want to assign the value to this variable a, then that should be the integer value only, that should not be string. So if you want to declare the this hello, then you should utilize the data type as a char, like this kind of thing. So this is the example of type incompatibility. Okay, so this kind of things also detected as a semantic error by the semantic analyzer. Then errors in the expression, like if you write the expression like this, like okay, you can see here you have declared the string s as a snd, and here in the int a 5 plus s. Now you cannot do the addition of string and the addition of integer. Okay, so this is also the come under the category of semantic error. So here you can see the operator does not support the argument of type string. Okay, so additional operator don't support you the addition of integer variable and the string. So this kind of mistake usually happens from the programmer, and detection of that kind of mistake as a error, as a semantic error, that is done by the semantic analyzer phase of the compiler. So another kind of error we can see here with the example, not matching of actual parameters with the formal parameter. Okay, Now here you can see the here the this is the you can see the called function. This is the called function. Okay, so this is the calling function. Okay, this is the calling function, and in this calling function you have some actual parameters. Now whenever this function will go, this code will be detected by the compiler. The function sum will be get called. So this is your call function. Now here in this call function, you are receiving the three parameters. Here from this calling function, you are sending the three parameters or the arguments. But you have to receive that three arguments or the parameters. Here you are just having the two arguments or the two parameters. So this is not the matching of actual arguments with the formula. So if here you are sending the three arguments, here you should also have the three arguments to receive that. Okay. So if the programmer does this kind of mistakes, then that is also being detected under the semantic analyzer as a semantic errors. So from these different kind of errors, you must have got the what is the functionality of the role performed by the semantic analyzer phase of compiler, which is nothing but the third phase of our compiler. So here you can see the semantic analyzer take the particular input from the previous phase as a parser and try to process it by generating the modified parse tree. And if the modified parse tree get generated successfully, then we can say there is a no semantic error. So these things I have written here, the semantic analysis check whether the parse tree constructed follows the rules of language. So whatever the parse tree, that is a modified parse tree generated by the semantic analyzer, it will semantic analysis check there whether that parse tree constructed according to the rules of language or not. So if that parse tree will not be considered according to the rules of language, then definitely you will get the different kind of errors here. So here, for example, assignment of values between the compatible data types and adding the string to the integer. This is against the language rules. Okay, this is against the language rules. So if these kind of things are there in your program, then definitely the modified parse tree cannot be get generated. And these things will be get reflected in that particular modified parse tree. And if the modified parse tree will not get generated, definitely the semantic error will be shown there. So also semantic analyzer has to keep the track of different kind of identifiers or the variables and the type of that identifier variables. Okay. Whether the identifier or the variables are declared before the use or not, likewise. So if the identifier or the variable are not declared before the use, then definitely the undeclared variable kind of error is generated by the semantic analyzer. So semantic analyzer output is nothing but the annotated syntax tree or the modified parse tree as output. Here you can see, which is given to the next phase of compile. And this annotated parse tree or the modified parse tree can be generated only there is a no semantic error in your program. So here you can also see the semantic analysis check the semantic consistency or meaning of the code. It uses the syntax tree of the previous phase along with the symbol table to verify that the given source code is semantically consistent, or to verify that given source code is having the valid meaning. So it also check whether the code is conveying some appropriate meaning, whether the code is meaningful or not. So for that, it check the different kind of things like it check for the type mismatch, it check for the type compatibility of operands, it check for the function call with the proper or improper arguments, it check for the declared variable or the undeclared variable like this. So another example you can see here the float x 20.2 we have declared here, and the float y equal to x into the 30. Now this is the meaningful sentence or the expression, but this is not the meaningful because here semantic analyzer will detect the here that 30 here instead of 30 it should be 30.0 because x data type is the float and 30 data type is the int, and you are trying to store this value in the float data type y in the variable y which is the data type as a float. So if you want to do the multiplication of x and this 30, so it should be converted to the 30.0. So some compiler do the automatic conversion of this 30 to the 30.0. So the semantic analyzer will responsible for this conversion, and that is called as the type casting. So if you write this kind of expression in your program, then definitely you get the warning and the errors. And in some compiler, that is being automatically typecasting is done. Means 30s get converted to the 30.0 before the multiplication. If 30 is not get converted to the 30.0, if or in that case, if the programmer don't change this 30 to 30.0 before multiplication, then definitely the errors will come, because here x data type is different and the data type of 30 is different. If you want to do the multiplication of x and this 30 has to be converted to 30.0. So we can see the semantic analyzer also do the work of typecasting also related with the C compiler. This facility is available. Okay. If you write in the program like this kind of sentence, and if you try to print value of y, you will get the value of y printed correctly. It will be like 600.2. Okay, so in case of that, we can say 30 is automatically get converted into the 30.0. Okay, so this is done by the semantic analyzer phase of compiler. So we can say the semantic analyzer gather the different information. It do the task of type checking, etc., etc. It will do the task of detection of mismatch of variable types and different kind of things that we have discussed, and accordingly it will show you the semantic error. So from the discussion, we can have the summary that semantic analyzer check whether the sentence or the string is meaningful or not, because given sentence can be lexically correct, syntactically correct, but it may not be semantically correct. So this point that I'm telling you, given expression can be a lexically correct, it can be a syntactically correct, but it may not be a semantically correct. So this expression you can see, this is a lexically correct, because if the lexical analyzer will process this, then it will generate the tokens for float as a keyword, tokens for the y as a identifier, tokens for this symbol as a operator, tokens for x as a variable, tokens for the this star as a multiplication operator, tokens for 30 as a constant. And this is also syntactically correct. Means this expression is a lexically correct, this is the syntactically correct, but this is not the semantically correct. Why this is not semantically correct? Because 30 is the integer and x is a float. If this multiplication has to be done, the 30 has to be converted into the 30.0, so that the data type of this x and this another operand will become the same. Okay. So here also one more example we are discussing. Semantic analyzer generate the modified parse as output with some modification. So this example we are carrying. For example, you have the expression x is equal to a plus b into 50. Now in this example, you have the different variable like x, a, b. These variables we are having, and its data types are given float. X, a, b data types are float. But you can see the data type of 50 is the integer. It is not float. So in this example, data type of 50 is integer, but the data type of other operand like x, a, b, these are the all float. So in this case, what is the role of semantic analyzer? Now consider this is the grammar given. Now for this grammar, if you see the how the syntax analyzer will work with this. So syntax analyzer simply generate this parse tree for that particular expression using this grammar. Okay. Now syntactically it is correct. There is no problem because syntax analyzer is generated syntax. Now this syntax is given to the semantic analyzer. Okay. But semantic analyzer will generate the modified parse tree like this. Okay. This is the basic modified parse tree. Along with this modified parse tree. Now why we are calling this modified parse tree? That will see in the next time. Okay. But here also we can have the reference why we are calling it as a modified parse tree. Now in this parse tree you can see everything is similar, but here only the difference you can see. This 50 has to be converted into the 50.0. Okay. That is the reason this parse is considered as a modified parse. Okay. So this is the output generated by the semantic analyzer. And this is the output generated by the syntax analyzer. Okay. So only difference here is what? Semantic analyzer do the type checking here, and it will determine that type of XAB is a float and type of 50 is integer. So semantic analyzer also give you the warning, or it will do the automatic type casting. So this 50 also need to be converted to the float or real to match the type compatibility. So to make the type compatibility possible here is to make the type data type of all the, if this operation has to be performed, then data type of all the variable or the operand present here, data type of all that operand or the variable need to be same. So this kind of things, or the this kind of warning or the error message will be shown by the semantic analyzer. What kind of things? That 50 is having the incompatible type. Okay. And then that 50 has to be converted into the 50.0. So that automatic typecasting is done by the some compiler. So C compiler does this automatic typecasting in the semantic analysis phase. So this is nothing but the parse tree generated after the semantic analysis. Okay. So this parse tree can be also referred as a modified parse tree, or the annotated parse tree. Now here you have to just call it as a modified parse tree. Why modified parse tree? Because this 50 is being converted into the, has to be converted to the 50.0, means integer has to be converted to the real. That is the reason this tree is called as a modified parse. Okay. Now again, in the syntax directed translation, another things get added in this parse tree. And after adding that different things, this parse tree is referred as annotated parse tree. Okay, or you can also call it as a modified parse tree. That part we will see in the next time. Here you just keep in mind, this is considered as a modified parse tree as an output of the semantic analyzer. So here you can understand the difference between the syntax analyzer and semantic analyzer. For the same grammar, for the given same expression, syntax analyzer will generate the parse tree like this, and the semantic analyzer will generate the parse tree like this. Everything is similar, only difference is here related to the typecasting, where the semantic analyzer will try to make the type of the different variable same, so that the type compatibility can be done. And for that purpose, it does here the operation of into real conversion. That is, this is called as a typecasting done by the semantic analyzer phase of compiler. Now, in some compiler, this facility is not available. In that case, you will definitely get the error there, and partially modified partially will not get generated. But in case of the C compiler, automatic typecasting facility is available. Okay, so this is all about the semantic analysis phase of compiler. So here we can say the main role of semantic analyzer is to check whether sentence or expression written in code is meaningful or not, or it perform the role of type checking or the type compatibility checking. So for that, semantic analyzer request parse tree from the syntax analyzer, and when the syntax analyzer give the parse tree to the semantic analyzer, then semantic analyzer will try to generate the modified parse tree. If the modified parse tree can be generated, then it can be said there is a no semantic error. But if the modified parse tree cannot be generated, then semantic errors will get generated. So while designing of the compiler is taking place, in that when semantic analyzer is getting designed, the system programmer used to mention all the rules of formation of semantically correct sentence of particular language. Means when the semantic analysis phase of C compiler is getting designed by the system programmer, so system programmer has to mention all the for all the rules of formation of semantically correct sentence, all the rules of formation of meaningful sentences there. Okay. So when the user compile his program, the compiler, and in that third phase of compiler, that is the semantic analyzer, just check whether the user programmer has written code according to the predefined semantic rules, the rules which were defined by the system programmer while designing a compiler. If all the semantic rules are followed, then no error will be generated after the compilation. But if all the semantic rules are not followed, then definitely the different semantic errors will be get generated, and that will be get notified to the programmer, and then the programmer can make the next another changes, more rectification, and then again the recompilation has to be done. So that is the semantic analysis phase of compiler. So next time we'll go in the more details of semantic analysis phase of compiler, and that part we are going to discuss as a syntax directed translation. So syntax directed translation is nothing but the it is also the part of the semantic analysis only, So in details related to the semantic analysis, that is nothing but syntax directed translation. For that, we'll do the discussion from the next lecture. So you'll go through the all the previous lectures if you have missed out, so that further part can be understood. Okay, so that's it from this lecture. Thank you all of you.